What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. If you are new, my name is Dave. This is a channel that is around my 2004 C5 Corvette. So if you're into Corvette content, consider hitting that subscribe button and also consider hitting that thumbs up button before you leave this video. Now, if you are new to the In the Passenger Seat podcast series, it's a series where I bring on fellow YouTubers that I follow myself and that I engage with on a regular basis. And this is to talk, obviously, about the YouTuber's car, but more importantly, behind the camera, and get to know the person a little bit more on a personal level, kind of what you don't really see captured on video, because not all of our personalities are really captured on video. And as you can tell from the thumbnail of this video, I am here today with your boy Jamal from Jamal's Garage.
Yo, what up?
What's happening, man? So how's it all going, buddy?
It's good, man. It's good. How are you? God, I'm already looking right at the screen. I gotta try to look at the camera better.
I know. I keep looking over at the screen too. I tried moving my camera around this time to get a better view of everything, but it is hard. So What's going on, buddy? How's everything going down there in Texas?
It's good, man. It's good. Actually, just got news that an offer got accepted on a house that I was looking at. So I'm actually super excited today. So it's been kind of a struggle looking for a place, but we're here and we got it. So hopefully all that stuff works out. And then hopefully I don't cancel myself here tonight. So I've never been live before online. So hopefully I don't get too crazy, man. But you never know. You never know.
I got you. So, I mean, probably a lot of people that watch me know of you. But for those that don't, give everybody just a quick little synopsis on what Jamal's Garage is.
All right, so you kind of hit it on the head there. My name is Jamal. Obviously, I have a 2003 Corvette Z06 and recently purchased a 2016 Cadillac CTS-V. And as far as the Z06 goes, when I bought it, 2016, I wanted to kind of a backstory, I guess. So we've always been into filmmaking, right? And so ever since middle school, high school, me and my buddies always pick up the camera, film and stuff, but we never really had a whole lot to shoot. And so as YouTube started getting more popular, car vlogs started getting more popular, I kind of was looking at that and I was like, you know what? I really enjoy car stuff. And I was like, what if I made a video every time I put a new part on the car, right? So I had my G35 at the time, but that was kind of fully modded out and I was actually looking to get rid of it. So would have been too late on that car, but I figured the next car I get, I'm going to film videos of me just installing stuff, talking about stuff, and hopefully putting stuff out there that can help other people when it comes time for them to do stuff to their cars. So that was kind of one of my main focuses, and went into it. Obviously, when your car is brand new, you have a lot of stuff to shoot, right? Because you don't have anything to it. But as you probably realize yourself, when you start modding out, it's like you start running out of video ideas. So I'm in that phase right now, and the CTS-V's got a warranty. I don't really want to avoid that. And the Cadillac, the Corvette's pretty much all the way done, but I don't know, man. We're just going to try to keep it going here.
I hear you. You did kind of like disappear for a while, and probably you were getting a whole bunch of comments like, "Hey, dude, where are you?" I know you were in school too, right?
Yep. I graduated in December of 2018. So between school and working and filming for YouTube, it's just a lot of stuff going on there. So.
Gotcha. What'd you go to school for?
I went to school for industrial engineering.
Nice. I'm an electrical
4-year degree that took 5.5 years. So
yeah, I did. I'm an EE and it took me 6. So I get it.
Shit happens, man.
Exactly. And 4 of those years were at county college. So for me,
shit happens, man. That's all I gotta say. I switched majors halfway through. So
yeah. Now you were saying you started with your G35 and you started on YouTube. I know you weren't like doing as many videos with the G35 because like you said, it was mainly done. But you started that like 7 years ago or something. I looked it up today. It was like almost 8 years ago, I think.
Yeah, the YouTube channel was actually created 12 years ago, I think. And then like you said, I think I started I uploaded my first video. I don't even remember what it was, like a Kodak camera video test or something. That was like 8 years ago or something. But yeah, dude, YouTube has definitely been a large interest of mine for a really long time. But it was just like had to get all my ducks in a row. So
gotcha. Was there any
videos actively in 2016?
Yeah. Was there anybody that influenced you to continue or to really start?
I would definitely say Street Speed 717 was kind of one of my biggest inspirations. Vehicle Virgins Parker was another big inspiration. And then there was some other small Corvette YouTubers. I can't think of their names right now, and I don't think they really make videos anymore. But some of those guys were also a pretty big inspiration to me. And then Adam LZ as well. So, and then actually Cletus, I think, started his channel around the same time that I started making videos. And obviously his success has dwarfed mine in size. But,
yeah.
Or,
yeah, I was going to say, when, you know, back when you started, like you said, there weren't many channels that were dedicated to the C5, right? So
yeah, right.
Me, when I started my channel just a little over 3 years ago, obviously I was watching you before I started mine. So you were an inspiration to me for starting my channel. Man.
That's awesome.
Appreciate you doing the videos.
It's crazy to hear people say that, dude. It's just, I didn't, you know, I started that video I started making videos in my garage and didn't think anything of it. Didn't think I'd get like 100 subscribers, let alone, you know, 3,000 subscribers. So obviously it's still growing, but it's just, you never know what's going to happen. You never know where it's going to take you, man. It's awesome.
Yeah. I remember your bullets video, and that's kind of what sold me on getting bullets. So
that video, I think, just hit 100K the other day. So it's
really
awesome. And I just, dude, every time I watch that video back, it just makes me cringe so hard, dude.
Yeah. 100K, man. That's a lot of views.
Yeah, but it was that video, you know. It's just like there's so many different things I would change if I had to go back and re-upload that video. But it's what it is, I guess.
Yeah. Now you had the G35, like you mentioned, the Corvette, and now you have the CTSV. Were there any other cars that you've had over the years?
Yeah, I had a 1999 Miata for a while, NB Miata. It was 5-speed. I had that car for maybe like 6 months while I was in school. Bought it for $2,300, listed it for $4,000 on Craigslist. Didn't think anyone would ever buy it. Was just kind of learning how to drive manual on it and stuff. And like, lo and behold, had it listed for 2-3 weeks and it sold. So I was like, well, I can't turn down the profit. So I just let it go. And then obviously the daily that was before the CTSV was a 2005 Chevy Cavalier. All reliable, dude. That thing was awesome.
Yeah.
And then I had a Yamaha R6 motorcycle for a little bit too, but.
Okay.
My mom wasn't too happy when I had that, so I had to get rid of that. But I sold the motorcycle and the Miata and I think the G35, and that was all the money I had when I bought the C5Z. So
nice. Well, also being in college, you didn't really have much money. So
what about you? Let me ask you a question. What were you driving before that Corvette?
Right when I graduated college, I bought a 2009 Honda Accord Coupe 4-cylinder.
Nice.
So I had that car for like 10 years. I just sold it like 2 years ago, and that's when I got my Ram truck.
Okay.
But I got the Corvette 5 years ago.
Oh, okay. So it was kind of like your daily while you had that Corvette.
Yeah, and luckily I live close enough to work, so like whenever the weather's nice, I just drive it. It's only like a 15-mile commute round trip, so it's like a no-brainer to just drive it to work every day.
Yeah. See, I did daily mine in school, and then after I got out of school too, it was like I was dailying it for 2 years, and in that time it dropped the valve and all that crazy stuff happened. I was driving my dad's car for a little bit, and then finally got enough money back to rebuild that car, and then started running again, and I was able to drive it until I ended up buying the Cavalier from a coworker at the time when I was working at Discount Tire. So
nice.
It's been a struggle.
I hear you on that.
It's all good now.
So I'm assuming you don't regret getting rid of the Cavalier, but do you regret getting rid of any of the other cars?
It's a good question, man. If the Miata was actually a really fun car, and I probably wouldn't have gotten rid of that car if I didn't have to. So that's one thing, I guess, one of the cars I regret, you could say regret kind of getting rid of, but I don't really, I mean, my past cars, I mean, there's always that first love with the G35, and I really like that thing, but I couldn't say if I really regret getting rid of one of my cars. I would like to have another motorcycle one day, but I mean, as far as regret goes, I mean, I'm definitely going to regret if I ever sell the C5Z, but I don't really regret any cars I've had in the past. So I guess that's a good thing, right?
Yeah, there you go. Now for the C5Z, I mean, we just talked about how you did a lot of mods to it. Those that don't follow your channel, I know you just put out a video, what was it, like a month or two ago, kind of just going through cataloging your whole process.
Yep.
So what do you have done to the Z?
All right, let's see. A lot, I guess. It's got a CCW classic wheels on it, 3-piece, 17-inch square setup, 17 by 10 in the front, 17 by 11 in the rear. It's got Corvo A4 racing seats in it. It's got a Corsa Sport axle back system in it. It's got Hinson 1 7/8 long tube headers. It's got PRC stage 2.5 heads on it. Still stock bottom end with a Brian Tooley stage 3 cam. Fast 92 intake manifold, LS2 throttle body, Haltech cold air intake, C6Z shifter. It's lowered on some aftermarket bolts. I can't really think of hardwire radar detector if you want to count that, but
I hardwired one not too long ago too.
That's pretty much it, I guess. I can't think of anything else. I'm sure I missed something, but yeah. And then a bunch of blackout stuff like blackout emblems and inlays and stuff like that. So
got it. Yeah, I pretty much want to get to almost that point. So
yeah.
When I
mean, it's kind of to the point now where if I want to change something, it's going to be like something that's super major, like going boost or nitrous or something like that, or maybe getting a engine swapping it, put an iron block in and go turbo or something. It's going to be something crazy, but as I said earlier, I just got offer accepted on a house, so that's not really a priority right now. I got to kind of shift my priorities. So
gotcha.
You live in video ideas that don't cost so much money.
I hear you on that. My wife reminds me of that every day.
Right.
Where do you live currently?
I still live with my parents, dude. They were gracious enough to kind of let me live rent free, so that's how I was able to save money for down payment and actually buy a lot of the mods for my car. So if I was paying money for rent and stuff like that, I probably wouldn't even have the Cadillac CTSV, and I probably wouldn't have as many mods on my cars. So they've been super gracious with that, and I'm super thankful for that. So
I hear it. Everybody that I always talk to, you always just recommend staying at home as long as you can. I know sometimes it's a pain, but stay there and save up.
Trust me, it's been a pain, dude, especially with trying to film videos. For the people out there that have foreign parents, you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. So
yeah. Now were you born here or?
Yes, I was born here in Texas. My dad came in, I want to say it was the early 80s, late 70s. I want to say it was the early 80s, and then my mom came shortly after, and then we were all born here. So
okay.
Golly, glad they came.
Yeah, right. And
it was a very different life.
Yeah, and since they're not car people, how did your car passion begin, and how did it start?
That's a good question. So, actually, my car passion kind of started with my best friend, actually Casey, one of the guys has been in a few of my videos. He's kind of my biggest inspiration to cars, and it kind of inadvertently happened. So, when I was looking for my first car, I was kind of a late bloomer. I got my permit when I was like 17, so like all of my friends were pretty much driving at the time. And my buddy Casey's dad had just bought a G35 sedan. It was like a 2005. Rear-wheel drive, it's got that VQ35, that same engine that 350Z had or whatever. And he calls me one day and he's like, "Hey, are you home?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Come outside." I'm like, "Okay." And so I walk outside. He's out there in the G35. I'm like, "Oh, hey, this is kind of a cool car." Didn't really think anything of it. And then we kind of went down the road, and he turned off traction control, and 280 horsepower on a slick road actually spun the tires. And I was like, "Whoa, that was really cool." I was like, I've never experienced anything like that before. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna look into these G35s. I had originally planned, like, when I was like, I'll match whatever you have for a car. So I had $2,000, so he's gonna match me $2,000. So $4,000. I was looking at like a Honda Civic or something. For those, brown parents that want you to get a Honda Accord, they want you to get a Toyota Camry or something like that. So I was looking at one of those, but after I went for riding that thing, I kind of shifted my focus, and I was like, you know what, the thing was actually pretty sweet. So let me see what's out there.
I hear you. Since maybe did you get into any trouble with the G35 or any of the other cars? Any interesting stories that you can share?
The G35, not so bad. I guess one interesting story would be I actually didn't have a front plate on that car, and I got pulled over one time But it was the weirdest thing. So this was around, I think, the time the law in Texas changed, where they started really enforcing like front license plates and stuff. I say that now. I don't have any front license plates in any of my cars, so knock on wood, I'll be okay.
In Jersey, we're required to have the front plate
really?
too, and I don't run it either.
I mean, I haven't had one on the Corvette, and they haven't really. I mean, I've seen cops and stuff, but this is my G35, so I don't know, for whatever reason. A cop pulled me over, and he's like, "You know, I pulled you over." I was like, "I have no idea." And he's like, "Well, you don't have a front plate in your car." And I was like, "Okay." I was like thinking, I'm like, "Okay, I'm getting a warning for this, no big deal." And it was on my birthday, so I was like, "Oh, he'll read my license and he'll see it's my birthday. He'll cut me some slack." He's like, "All right, I'll be right back." He goes to the car, comes right back with a freaking ticket for no front license plate on my birthday. I was like, "You have to be kidding me!" So I think what I ended up doing was like zip tying the license plate to like the front grills of the car, and I drove it up there, and the what do you call it? The bailiff walked out, and he's like, "Oh, you're good." And then I came home and I cut it off. So $10 later, problem solved. But like I didn't have really anything crazy happen with any of those cars.
Gotcha. Yeah, I think in New Jersey, I think it's a $50 ticket for not having a front plate. It's either 50 or 100, I forget. But
I don't know. I don't know the exact amount it is in Texas, like if you were to just pay the ticket outright, but it's just a fix-it ticket. So it'd be just like having expired registration. You just take care of it, and then they'll dismiss it for like the $10 court fee or whatever. So,
gotcha. Yeah, I don't know how it works in Jersey. I got pulled over once, but the cop let me go.
Nice. I actually have gotten a warning in the Cavalier.
Okay.
So maybe the shittier car you have, the cops feel bad for you and they just write you a warning. But anytime I've been pulled over in the Corvette, I've gotten a ticket every time. And I haven't been pulled over in the Cadillac yet, so fingers crossed. Hopefully I won't have any issues there. But
yeah, I don't run the plate on my Corvette or on my Ram. So
yeah,
and my Ram.
I don't think I plan on running a plate either. And it's just like I'll zip tie it on and pay the $10 if it ever comes down to it. I've gotten a warning in the Corvette before, and I was like, "Dude, tell me where I can put a plate on this thing." And he's just like, "All right, well, here's your speeding ticket. Here's your warning. Go take care of it." I was like, "All right."
Mm-hmm. So. Now, originally you did have the bullets, but you got rid of them, I'm assuming, because of the drone, and they're just too freaking loud, especially when you went to the BTR Stage 3 cam and heads and all that good stuff. Was there any mod besides that you kind of look back and say, maybe I should have done that differently?
Oh man, that's a good question. Actually, damn, you're asking a hard-hitting question.
Sorry, man.
I think there's a few mods that I look back on. Like, if I had to, like, cutting the front bushings out of the front lowering bolts was probably something I shouldn't have done, because the car is literally riding like on bump stops pretty much now, and like it's really rough. So I probably should buy coilovers for it soon. Another thing, what was I going to say? Like the whole like top end part of the build, the heads, the intake manifold, the throttle body, the injectors, all that stuff. I think that ended up costing me around $3,000 or $4,000. And looking back on it, the 30 wheel horsepower gain, I mean, although they're kind of pushing the limit of what the car can do naturally aspirated, I don't know if looking back I would do that over again, or if I just would have like gone with a supercharger kit or something. But that's that whole thing I think about all the time. And I was like, man, was that really worth it for 30 wheel horsepower? But I don't know. At the end of the day, it is what it is. And I guess with my car being higher mileage and having like it's got a tired motor in it, if you will, with that used piston and rod that's in there now. I mean, I don't know. I think that kind of deterred me. And so I was like, oh, I'll just slap some heads on it. That'll be fine. But knock on wood, it's been fine. So
I gotcha. How much power did it make?
It made 467 wheel horsepower on the dyno last time I had it on there. I'm actually interested to see, there's actually a shop that opened up here local that my tuner actually tunes at. So I was thinking about actually going up there sometime soon and just throwing it back on the dyno and see if it'll still make that power. I don't see any reason it would not, but it's been a year or two since I've done that. So I just want to see if the car is able to maintain that power. I mean, I don't drive it nearly as much as I should or nearly as much as I used to, but I'd just be curious, I guess. Yeah.
I know that like every dyno you go to, you're going to get a different number either way.
Yeah. That's what sucked too. Cause the first dyno I dynoed on, I wasn't able to get back on it the second time because the shop was under a remodel. So I had to go to a different dyno, but I don't know. It is what it is. Obviously, you want to try to stay on the same dyno whenever you do mods, so you know that.
Yeah. Which one do you like better, the V or the Z?
Dude, some days I really miss not driving the Corvette, and then some days I'm like, dang, I wish I had the Cadillac right now. It's. I would say the Z is probably more fun, and it turns more heads. And if I had, when I'm going to a car show, I definitely pick up the Corvette keys over the Cadillac keys, because the Cadillac is still kind of stock. But I don't know, as time goes on, I don't know what'll happen, but I think I'm sticking with the Z for now, dude. It's an awesome car, and it's just like, it's way less refined. It's way just rough around the edges, and it's just like, it beats you up every time you drive it. But there's something about it I just love. So
yeah, and you have it stand straight too.
Yeah.
One, it chops like a mother.
Yeah,
and then two, it's just that meaty rear tire, dude, with the stance that you have. That's just a killer look on that car.
That's why I just have to let it beat me up on the streets, dude, because I can't race it back up. I don't want to mess with the stance. I love the way it looks. I love the way it looks in pictures and videos and all that stuff. I was like, you know what? It is what it is. It's not my daily. I'll ride around, do what I have to do, and until I can't take it any longer, I'm going to leave it like it is. So.
Gotcha. If anybody watching live has any questions for Jamal, don't be afraid to put those in the comments, and we'll hit those, as we can. What else are you into besides cars?
Obviously, photography, videography, like I said, is one of my biggest passions, hence the camera setup here. And then PC gaming, friends and I are real big into that. Other than that, man, it's just like I'm working all the time, and just like general like handyman kind of stuff. Like anytime something messes up around the house, and that's why I'm actually really excited for the new house is I get to start dabbling in all those freaking projects and stuff. So
is it a picture?
No, actually it's pretty turnkey, I'd say, but just like personalizing it, stuff like that. I can't wait to have my own freaking garage. It's gonna be the best part. I told all my friends, I'm like, I'm going to sleep on the floor and have a really nice garage in the beginning. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Brandon Hanner had a comment here. Tell us the story about dropping the valve.
Oh, geez.
I remember the aftermath video, and you have a picture on your Instagram too, which is pretty wild. So
I can still keep that. I still keep that freaking piston and rod in my trunk. And anytime I'm like, yeah, check it out. So that's actually a crazy story, and the reason Brandon or Casey's asking, that's my best friend actually.
Okay.
We were actually together that same night. We were at school, actually studying for a circuit analysis exam. So shout out electrical engineering there. But yeah, we were studying for an exam, and the exam was the next day. It was an 8 a.m. class, so we had to be there at probably like 7:30. We were up at the library. The school is about 30-minute drive from the house. And so I think we finally wrapped up studying. I left early at like 2 a.m. I was like, all right, man, I can't take this anymore. I'm out of here. And so
that is early for engineering students.
Yeah. So I roll. Casey's still at the school, and I'm riding on my way home. I'm literally cruise control, like just cruise control, 70 miles an hour. I was like, I don't want to get in trouble here. It's late. I got an exam in the morning. I want to make sure I make it home and everything. And so literally cruise control, I'm exiting off of the highway, getting onto another highway, onto the on-ramp, and hit a bump and didn't think anything. And like I hit the bump was fine. I hit the bump fine. And then literally I just hear a bang and the engine shuts off. And I was like, what just happened? And so I was like, that's weird. And so my dumbass tries to start the car again. Worst, should not have done that.
Worst decision ever. Okay.
I cannot believe the engine survived. Tried to start the car again. It cranks, doesn't start. And I'm like, all right, well, at this point, I'm still cruising 70 miles an hour on the highway. So I was able to take the exit, coast off, go all the way down the off ramp and turn into I think it was like a closed down liquor store at the time. And so I turned to that parking lot. And I get out of the car and I'm like, oh my God, at that point, it's like, all right, something serious has definitely happened. And so I call Casey and I'm like, hey, I think my engine just blew up. I have no idea what's going on. He's like, can you swing by on your way home? Cause we actually live in the same area. So his way home is my way home. So he's like, all right, I'm wrapping up and I'm gonna head that way. And so He gets there. We look at the car, and like under the car, I don't see anything. There's no fluid or anything. I don't see any windows in the block. So I was like, I don't know what's going on. I'm calling actually the guy that replaced the crank pulley on my car. Is one of the first things I did. I called him and he's like, "Hey, what happened?" And I was like, "I don't know, man. It just shut off, made a noise." And then I'm like, and Casey's like, "Well, we can't sit here all night. We have an exam in the morning. We gotta do something." So he's like, we got to call a tow truck. And so I was like, all right, cool. So we called a tow truck. By that time, I think it was like 4 a.m. Had to be back up at school at 8 a.m. for exam. Tow truck comes like 30 minutes later. We get home. I think I got home. I think the tow truck pulled into my driveway at like 5:30 in the morning. And he basically rolled the Corvette off the flatbed into the driveway. And I go back inside and I sleep for like an hour, wake up, grab my dad's keys, and I go back up to school. He's there, I'm there, and pass the freaking exam and pass the class, dude. What a crazy story, dude. That was probably the craziest night of my life, dude. That was wild.
Mm-hmm. And then you finally figured out what actually happened.
Yeah, so actually the Corvette actually sat in the driveway for like 3 or 4 months because I had just bought it, and like I spent almost all my money on it. I sold like 3 cars to get that thing, and it just had to sit because I couldn't afford to fix it at the time. And I pulled the valve cover off. I saw the valve spring, and I was like, okay, maybe it's just a valve spring. Hopefully I can get lucky. Bought all the stuff to the valve spring. I was like, okay, I can probably do this myself. And then I got all the stuff. I went to go pull the spark plug out, in the bottom of the spark plug. The bottom of the spark plug where the strap is and everything was just completely gone. I was like, oh, great.
Oh, wow.
Like, yeah, you've probably done some more damage than that. And so we stuck a camera down there, and you could tell it was pretty messed up. So he's like, yeah, the head's got to come off. So the same guy that did the crank pulley and the same guy that did the cam in my car, I just basically towed the car back to him when I finally had enough money, and he took it apart, sent me all those pictures, and sure enough, he's like, yeah, man, you got really lucky. The cylinder walls are basically untouched. Mm-hmm. So he pulled a pan off, cleaned it all out, left the engine block in the car, and he was able to replace the rod and piston with the block still in the car, slide the piston in from the top, and then bolt it down from the bottom, cleaned it all out, and put it back together. And he's like, if you want to do a cam, now would be a good time. I was like, well, I'm literally spending all my money right now to try to get it running again. So didn't do it at that time, but he was able to get it back running again. And like for the first 2 weeks I had it, I was like super sketched out. And I was like, you know what, dude, screw it. He's like, if it hasn't gone now, hopefully it'll be fine. And then I started ripping on it again, and it was fine. And it's been fine ever since. So
nice.
It was like 4 years ago, dude, and still on the same engine. That's about 156,000 miles now. So
I was going to say, that was probably, if not your first Z video, one of the first videos that you did.
I think that was the first video. Yeah.
I was going to say, it might have been your first one.
No, because I wasn't filming videos when the engine blew up. It was after that. I was like, yeah, this is a pretty cool story to kind of start things off with. And so, I hadn't even filmed anything yet. So,
got it. Zippity had a question here. How big is the garage in the new house?
It's a basic house. It's like a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. I think it's like a 20 by 20 garage, but nonetheless, it's my own garage, so I don't have to. I don't know if you see my videos, but there's like a bunch of crap in the background in the garage. All that stuff won't be there finally because I'll have my own place. But
yeah, it'll be nice and empty.
And I'll actually be able to put both my cars in there instead of parking next to my mom's minivan. So that'll be.
Robert had a question actually for me. C5 shift adapter. Not the China adapter. Yeah, I got the adapter from Twisted Shifters. So I didn't get the one that's off eBay, I think. A lot of people had issues with the China one. I don't know if Twisted Shifters is just a China one that they just brand for themselves or not, but I haven't had any issues with it.
C5 shift adapter, what exactly is?
For the automatic, I can put any shift knob on there.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, I can make my automatic not look like an automatic.
I got you. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding, dude. Everyone on a Corvette, don't come for me. I swear. I'm joking, dude.
That's all good.
In my video submission for your contest, I was like, I gotta throw a joke in there. I gotta throw a jab in there.
No, I saw it and I thought I edited in like a smiley face emoji or something, or a laughing emoji. Mm-hmm. But for some reason, it didn't make it to the edit. I was like, what the hell? I put it in there, but it didn't make it. But
I
caught it.
About that too?
What?
Didn't somebody else say something about that too in that video?
Yeah. Who said it?
Was it Morgan? I can't remember.
I don't remember. Now I'm drawing a blank on who it was, but somebody did say.
Yeah, I mean, I don't
Something
blame you.
about-
How many submissions of Corvettes and that whole video series you did? There was probably like 200 cars, I'd imagine.
No, there wasn't that many. I wish there was, but I think it was 55 or 60 cars.
Total Corvettes?
Yeah.
Or, I mean, cars, I guess?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there was only one Mustang. Everything else.
I got you. That was cool, man. That was cool to see. It's cool to see
Yeah.
one of these cars.
Yeah, I want to do that again. I don't know when, but we'll be doing it again.
Well, I can't promise that anything major would have changed with my car, but
Yeah,
maybe I'll submit the CTSV for that one. We'll see.
That's true. Charles had a question. Has any of your vets gotten away from you? And the question's for both of us. I'll let you go for it first.
Gotten away from me, like on the street, I assume he's asking?
Probably.
Actually,
I guess you could start with the street, and then if you got it somewhere else.
I mean, I've never tracked
You
my
don't-
car, so
you don't
I'll
track it?
answer
Okay.
from the street. This was actually around the time that I first got the car. I was still getting used to the power. And we went to a meet, and everyone took off to do some roll racing. I was on the car came with some really old Michelin, like Pilot Sport 1s, like before the Pilot Sport Cup 2s. I don't remember what Michelin tire, was super hard and kind of lower on tread tires. And I remember I wasn't even intending to race anybody because I knew the car would get loose on the street and on the highway. So a bunch of people were going out for roll racing after that, and they hit the highway and they're like, "Hey, you want to go?" I'm like, "Yeah, man, I'll just cruise and watch." Like, I'm still kind of new to this whole racing scene or whatever. And then a Gen 2 CTSV pulled up next to me and downshifted, and I kind of like waved him off, and he just kept insisting. I was like, "All right, screw it. I'll see what it does. Drop it down in a second." This was still on stock power. And he took off, and as soon as I punched it, I think I jumped. The car jumped like 3 lanes. I was in the right lane, and I went all the way to the left lane on the highway and almost lost it. And I was like, "All right, I'm getting new tires tomorrow. I'm never doing that again." That dude scared the daylights out of me, bro. That was that was pretty crazy. That could have been really bad. So
Yeah.
I guess that's kind of one of the only times. Other than after that, I always had like a pretty dialed tire setup on it, and I've kind of figured out how to drive the car and kind of learn the power band. So, I mean, knock on wood, we've been good ever since then. So,
Yeah, my only one, not all that crazy, but I had actually just gotten done cleaning the car, detailing the car, put on some tire shine and all that. I go out to this one light that I turn left, and I'm on like a 2-lane highway. That has a speed limit of 50. This one section, there's no cops. I know this. I rip it every time I make this left. So I go to make the left, and of course, because of the tire shine, I just do like a Tokyo Drift like action through the intersection, totally not meaning to do it, and I just felt like a total fucking idiot in front of everybody. But that was it, and that was definitely a puckered moment because, like you said,
yeah,
you know, I was relatively new to the car, but that was like the first time it got away from me.
Yeah,
and I definitely puckered up on that one.
Dude, it's scary, bro. And like even when I got the CTSV, it was a little bit wet outside, and I was like, I wonder what happened if I just floor right here. And I was like, no, that's stupid. And so I just punched it real quick, and the car instantly like wants to turn like 180 in the street. Traction control is on, and it caught me, and I was like, holy crap, dude! Like I just wasn't expecting it to do that. I guess it's not on rails or anything; it's just on regular street tires, and it got out of shape too. And I was like, all right, well, I know what the limit of that thing is now, so that was fun. And then another time when I had my Miata actually was at my buddy's car wash. This was he had one of the drive-through car washes, and everyone, it's Miata, I didn't really care about it. Drove it through the car wash, and I was leaving, and like I think he hooked me up with like one of the premium, like the the top washes you can get, one of those self washes. And so I think it sprayed some like tire wax or something on the wheels. And I remember leaving there and flooring it, and legit did a 180 in the intersection. There was cars coming, and I literally, when I stopped, I was looking at the person facing me like head to head. I just looking at the lady, and the lady's like looking at me like I'm an idiot, and I'm like, well, yeah, I'm an idiot. And the car stalled too, so I was like, all right. I was like, it finally started. I had to whip a U-turn in the road because I was facing the wrong way, and then I took off. I was like, wow, that was embarrassing. My friend's watching the entire time. Everyone at the car wash was watching. I was like, oh, jeez.
Yeah.
I still have PTSD about that, leaving car shows and stuff. So
Yeah, you watch too many Mustang videos with people leaving car shows and stuff. But
I'm a good driver, though. I swear, I'm not getting that stuff now. I've learned my lessons.
Well,
you kind of have to find the limits of that kind of stuff, I guess. Sorry, keep it on.
No, I was gonna say we actually had I run the Corvette takeover here in Jersey, and at the last one we had a guy that got on it a little too much, and he cut a friggin' telephone pole in half.
Holy crap!
And
a Corvette?
Oh yeah, he mangled it up pretty good. Luckily, him and the passenger were fine. But
what kind of Corvette was it?
It was a Z. And it was yellow, so like when pictures got out, everyone was asking if I was okay. And it wasn't my car. But
do you know the guy pretty well, or was it just?
I didn't. I mean, it was funny. He actually friend requested me on Facebook like a week or two later, and I was like, no, I'm not accepting that friend request. But no, I didn't know him all that well.
Yeah, I mean, what do you do as someone that organizes that kind of stuff when that happens? I've always wondered. Are you involved with that situation at all?
No, all I did, I just let the restaurant owner know because I'm sure he was in there, at the bar getting some drinks. So I just wanted to let the owner know that, hey, this is what happened.
Was the guy drunk or anything? Was he drinking?
I don't think so. I think he was just rattled from the whole experience of it because he had just like literally went through like a telephone pole that was probably like like this wide and chopped it right in half.
It's saying that he chopped it and it didn't chop him.
Exactly. A 3,000-pound car went through a telephone pole like a toothpick.
Yeah.
I was like, damn.
That's wild.
But and Zippity reminded me it wasn't even his Z. It was his brother's.
Oh, no, dude.
Yeah. So, yeah. It was...
The one time I let my sister drive my G35, she curbed the freshly powder coated wheels, and I've never let any of my siblings drive my cars ever since, so... Lesson learned on that one.
Yeah, no.
Unless I'm with them, of course. But this was when I was like out of town.
Yeah, I did let my sister drive my Corvette once. She was like, "Can I drive it?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure." But she's like 6-7 years older than me, so she's much more mature than I ever was.
She's a lady. She's not going to do anything crazy, I guess.
Exactly.
Well, I don't know. Your sister could be crazy.
She could be, but she's not. Brandon had a question. Why the CTSV? What other cars were you considering at the time?
So the CTSV, because I guess I'm kind of a GM fanboy and I wanted to go big. Well, actually, I really wanted a C7Z. I was like, okay, I was kind of looking in the $60,000 range was kind of my price point. And so some of the things I was considering was like a Hellcat, a C7Z, a C6 ZR1, the CTSV, a 6th gen ZL1, was all stuff that I was kind of considering. But then I thought to myself, like, I have the C5Z, and if I got another Corvette, I think I would probably get rid of the C5Z. And I really didn't want to do that because I really do love that car. Mm-hmm. And so I figured I want to get a daily, so need something with a back seat, something with 4 doors. I was like, the CTSV would be perfect for that. And the Hellcat to me is just like, it's a dope car, and I'd love to drive one day, but like, I don't know, that just like the interior of it wasn't as nice, and I feel like they're more ish common around here than Gen 3 Bs are, and so the LT4, I was like, all right, I'll get a CTSV. So, and plus they had like killer GM financing deals on those, so I was able to work out a deal on a certified pre-owned car, so it all just made sense. And I wanted to get that car before I got the house, so it's like I can live with my parents a few more years, so I can get the CTSV, so I don't have to worry about that later on. I'll have a nice daily, and then I'll have the Corvette as well. So
yeah, plus it's nice being down there in Texas. I mean, I have like 16 inches of snow outside.
Really?
Right now. Yeah, we just got slammed yesterday with snow.
We're going to Colorado next week for vacation, so actually to see snow. Because that last video, dude, that was the first time it had snowed in probably I want to say like 4 solid years since we got like measurable snowfall. So it's just not as common down here. So
yeah, no, I hear you.
But yeah, it's snowing pretty bad up there in Jersey.
What's that?
It's snowing pretty bad up there.
It's done now, but yeah, we got. I mean, depending on where you're at in Jersey, like central to northern Jersey got minimum 16 to 2 feet. I know my parents got almost 2 feet, and they're 30 miles north of me.
Wow.
So
Oh, dude. I don't think I've ever seen 2 feet of snow.
yeah.
Crazy.
In recent years, we haven't really gotten much, but I remember as a kid, we used to get bombarded with snowstorms. Like everyone talks about like the blizzard of like 94, 96, 99, but I don't remember really a bad blizzard after that. Maybe it's because now I'm an adult and like I don't want it to snow because what's the benefit in it snowing? It's not like I can go away. Why did my camera do that?
It looks like you switched from like super wide or something.
Yeah. Here, you can pick a topic and just go, and I'll be right back if you want.
Pick a topic. All right. Well.
Yeah. Pick some. I can still talk. You just can't see me, obviously.
Okay. So I guess along the conversation of weather patterns, is there any type of weather that you, I guess, other than snow, like do you take Corvette out in the rain and stuff like that?
I do.
Okay.
I try not to take it out in the rain, but every once in a while I do take it out in the rain.
Okay. Dude,
I was gonna say that's my one other like puckered up moment in the car was very. I think. What?
Did you read Zivity's comment?
No, I didn't. What did he say?
He said you look better with the colorful bars.
Oh, there you go. Fix the camera there. All right, cool. That's good enough. But it had rained like so the roads were still a little wet, but it's not like I was getting on it. Like you said, I wasn't getting on it at all on a 4-lane highway, so 2 lanes in each direction with a Jersey barrier in the middle. And I went to pass the person, and all of a sudden I'm looking at the barrier. I'm like, how the fuck did this happen? Like, and I wasn't even like you said, I was probably going only like 45 or 50. Didn't really accelerate fast to get around them, but the car did correct itself, and I straightened myself out. But I was like, wow, that happened very quickly.
The traction control systems on the C5 Corvettes are sometimes can be like super unpredictable. I don't know if it's just like older stability traction control systems, but like there's been times in that car when I've been in like competitive driving mode or whatever, and like punch it and it spins a little bit, and it just like it wants to spin you around almost. It's like, okay, this is not what I want to do. Like there's supposed to be like a certain degree of slip I think it allows. But it's not supposed to let you get out of shape like that. And there's been some sketchy times racing that it's wanting to get out of shape. So I don't know, that could be part of it. But like ever since I put the drag radials on the car, I'm just like one of those old guys now that doesn't drive his Corvette in the rain. And so it just stays in the garage. And then when I pull it out, it's like I wash it every time because it's got so much goddamn garage dust on it. But I guess I'm one of those guys now. So
yeah, see, that's my problem. I don't have a garage, so it's always out in the weather. So if it's raining, I'm like, well, I'll either drive in the rain or it'll sit in the driveway in the rain. So what's the difference? Might as well drive it.
Yeah.
Jay had a question. Oh, you can go. You can go first.
I was going to say, whenever you tuck it away for the winter, where do you put it at?
Right now, because I knew the storm was coming, it's at my parents'. They have a garage that I'm able to put it in.
Okay, cool. As long as you got a spot, then that's good.
Yeah, if the snow's not going to be bad, if it's only going to be like a couple inches, I'll just keep it here because it'll normally go away in a few days. But since we're getting 16, since we got 16, and it's supposed to be pretty cold for the next like 2 weeks, it's going to be sticking around. So, somebody had a question.
Jay,
where did it go? Jay, you kind of went over this a little bit. Do you ever plan on supercharging the Vet?
That's a good question. I definitely want to, and that'll probably be my next major thing that I do to it. But I'm not sure I want to put boost through the current engine that's in it now. So if I ever come across a good deal, I guess on like an A&A kit or an ECS kit, obviously I don't think I would ever buy a kit like that new. But if I came across a good deal on a used one, I might buy it, and I might just, if I have expendable income at the time and I can afford to blow a motor, I'd probably do it then. But like for the foreseeable future, I don't see myself doing it anytime soon. It's just don't know if I want to risk supercharging the engine that's in it now, just because it's so tired, like I mentioned. And I wanna build like an LQ4 or LQ9 6-liter iron block for it. Just do some forged pistons and rods in it, and just the stock block alone, it should be able to handle plenty of power. But it's just like something that is not priority right now, obviously. So I want to do that eventually, and I don't know if I'll ever end up doing it, or if I'll just trade the C5Z in for another Corvette. But this is going to be like way later down the road, so I don't know. I don't plan on doing anything crazy with it anytime soon.
How many miles do you have in the Z now?
Last oil change I did was I think at 155,000 miles, and it's probably got 156 or 157 on it now.
Wow, I didn't know you were that high up there.
I bought it with like 132,000-ish miles.
Okay.
It was a car when I bought it. So one guy put 30,000 miles on it.
You drove it.
Obviously never changed the valve springs on it, and I found that out. But yeah, and even myself now, it's been, I guess, 5 years going on, and I guess I really haven't driven it that much.
Yeah. Well, you put what, a little over 20,000 miles on it in 5 years? That's about what I've put on mine in 5 years. Yeah. Okay. And there goes my fucking camera again. All right, I'll ask the next question. Your buddy Brandon wanted to know, do either of us have a pair of New Balances?
Oh my god! Okay, now he's just messing with us. Yeah, I don't have a pair of white New Balances. If I ever need those, I'll just borrow Brandon's.
All right.
I don't have any. I don't have any white New Balances. I'm thinking about buying some though.
I don't have.
I can mow my new lawn and my white New Balances, get some nice green tint on it going.
Oh man!
Remember the car show? Put some miles on it.
Yeah, I do not have a pair of white New Balances either, but. There we go.
Shout out to all the people showing love in the stream chat too, man. Some familiar names.
Definitely. Yeah, you see that all the people that have registered YouTube channels, I think.
Yeah.
So, there were other questions up there too. Maybe not. I thought there was.
What kind of camera?
I'm using a GoPro.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
I just have the GoPro going into a what do you call those things? Capture cards.
Yeah. So we're using as well.
Yeah. For some stupid reason though, the GoPro keeps switching between modes. It goes right now. I'm in video mode, but it'll switch to whatever the next mode is, whether it's time lapse or burst or whatever. That's why it goes into wide.
Oh, I got
sporadically.
You. Okay.
I'm not sure why it's doing that, but it is. Supreme Vets had a question. Any plans on rear wide body?
I thought about it for a really long time before I bought the wheels for the car, and honestly, I think I was going to do it at some point because I wanted to get like some 18x12 Forge Stars to put in the rear, and I was actually looking for a used set at the time. Browsing the C6Z forums and stuff like that. And I thought I had wanted to do it maybe with some like L5 rear fenders, but then I found the CCWs, and when I put them on, I just kind of fell in love with the way the stance was and the way the fitment was and everything. And I was like, you know what, I don't even have to go wide body anymore because I just love the way it looked. And then like 315 tire in the rear on the 17 is plenty for what I need it for and what I'm going to do with the car. So I don't think I ever plan on. I don't really see a need to. I mean, it does look really good, and I really did want to do it for a while, but I don't think I will do it now.
Yeah, I know. I've thought about it for a while too. Oh, sorry, I was interrupting you.
You're good, man. I just said unless I ever needed a 345 or a 325 tire, but I don't think I would.
Yeah.
What about you?
No, probably not. I mean, I'm still on OEM wheels, but I do have wheels in mind, and they're not for wide body. So if I go with those wheels, I know wheels are interchangeable, but I'm kind of.
What are you looking at?
I'm looking at C701 reps right now.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, God dang it. I'm not going to be able to. Wimberly, working with Wimberly.
Correct.
He's got his car, right?
He does. Yeah. He has the.
Look dope.
the aluminum finish ones. I forget what they actually called, but I would probably go with the black finish.
Okay, yeah, that one looked dope.
But
Dude,
but
you
yeah,
know,
no, they do look good.
like a yellow Corvette would probably be one of the only yellow cars I think I'd ever own, dude. I love the yellow on the Corvettes, man.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know if you saw on my end. What's that?
I said I almost bought one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it a Z or no?
Yeah, it was a Z. It was a Z.
Nice.
I was gonna go look at it, but then I think it sold the day before I was gonna go look at it. So.
Okay.
And blue was my original color. It's the color I wanted. And yeah, if that yellow one hadn't sold, who knows what would have happened? But
True.
Would have been like yellow Vet 03 or something.
I doubt that one. There's actually a yellow Vet 03 on Instagram.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah. I don't know if I think he follows me on YouTube. I'm not 100% sure, but yeah, I found that funny. But do you like electron blue, right? Is that color?
Electron blue, yes, sir.
Yeah, that's a sweet blue color. So
I actually wanted to paint remember when I had my G35s, I had this crazy dream of painting it ISF blue, like the Lexus ISF blue.
Yes.
And it was like one of my favorite colors I'd seen because someone else had painted their G35 ISF blue, and I was like, dude, I love that color.
Okay.
And then I started shopping around, started looking at Z's. They had the electron blue color, which is very similar to it. I was like, all right, if I get a Corvette, that's going to be my number one option for color. And so it just so happened that one came for sale, and I was able to grab it. So everything worked out. It was pretty dope.
Yeah, I know when I was looking for C5. Well, originally I was looking for a C6.
Okay.
But I wanted an LS3 C6.
Mm-hmm.
And at the time, 5 years ago.
That's the one to have.
What?
That's the one to have.
Correct. And everybody knew that 5 years ago. So an LS3 C6 was going for over 25. Mm. Now you could probably get them in the lower 20s, maybe high teens, depending on mileage. But but then I came across my car on Craigslist. Mm-hmm. I wasn't 100% sold on the yellow until I went to go look at it. Yeah. And then when I went to look at it, I was like, all right, yeah.
Yeah,
I need that car.
I don't know, like that. The yellow on the C5s to me looks way better than the yellow on the C6 and the C7, and I guess the C8 now. I don't know. Just the something about the C5 yellow was really looks really nice to me, especially with like black wheels and black accents and stuff. I don't know. I think maybe it's a little bit of a darker shade on the other ones. Correct.
I was gonna say it's more of a deeper yellow.
Okay.
Yeah, I actually just took a picture the other day. I went to Zipty's garage. Yeah. We had a C5, C7, and a C8 there, and you can definitely see the drastic change going to the C8 because that's like I think
highlighter yellow or something like that.
Yeah, I think C8. I think they dropped the ball on the yellow on the C8. I mean, I don't mind keeping that color, but they should have had a yellow.
Yeah.
But
I don't know. They're kind of in a weird period right now where I feel like they're trying out a bunch of different stuff, and I think they even admitted that like the Corvette demographic is kind of changing, and so I don't. Some of the crazier colors that they're doing, I mean, I'm all for them. I think they look sweet, but yeah, that yellow on the C5s is awesome, dude.
2000.
What about you? Sorry, the new C8, dude. Checking it out. Did you like it? What do you think of those?
I think they're sweet.
A lot of mixed opinions on the new C8 Corvette.
I think
and everything.
Yeah, no, I think they're sweet. I think I've never driven one. I've sat in the driver's seat, but I've never actually physically drove it.
Same.
The only thing that I thought was weird about it, but it's grown on me, is the amount of space from the back from the door to the rear of the car.
Yes.
I feel like that is huge. I know the engine is there, so it's got to be big and long.
Yep.
And they put a trunk there, which I don't know if any other mid-engine car has a trunk in the back.
For your golf bags, dude. Single golf.
What?
It's for your freaking golf bags.
I know. Yeah, for the times that I go golfing once every year,
Right.
But so I thought that was just way too large and way too long, but it's grown on me. And now I don't notice that when I look at it anymore. But when I first saw that car, that was my initial thought. Was that the rear of that car is just way too long.
Yep, tend to agree. The taillights to me are still kind of weird. I wish they were a little bit more round, and the square exhaust tips, not crazy about those. But I think the aftermarket exhaust companies are putting round tips on their exhaust, and so that's easily solvable. But yeah, like the rear end is definitely weird. It's almost like a long tail I guess, of like it's yeah, essentially like a long tail, like a McLaren or something would do,
Hmm.
for a special edition version. But yeah, if like, I wish there was an option just to where you couldn't have the rear trunk or whatever,
Hmm.
because I personally never put anything in my trunk. So
I have a lot of crap in my trunk.
do you really?
Yeah, in my actual trunk, but yeah. So, but whatever.
Yeah.
It's 2001 Corvette said, shout out to your OG video for the window regulator install.
Hell yeah, dude. That was I think the second or third video, dude. I don't remember. But yeah, that was like one of the first things that happened, that like passenger side window just started like cracking when I roll it down, and I was like, oh geez, that does not sound good. So luckily they weren't too expensive and it was a pretty easy fix. And I was like, most of my videos have come from me searching for videos on how to do stuff and them not being there. And I was like, all right, this is my opportunity to kind of make a video and try to explain this to people. And so hopefully the whole goal was to just kind of help the community out when things like this happen and they have to do it on their own cars. So it's kind of the main motivation.
Yeah, I'm going to be referencing that video at some point because my driver's side window flies up. Like that thing is up, and it's up pretty damn quick. My passenger window, it's like a full second, maybe 2 seconds behind.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, that one's struggling over there. So I may have to replace that regulator too.
Yeah, and I don't know the longevity on these window regulators either, because after the passenger side one went out, like a year later, the driver's side had gone out, and I replaced that one then, and now the driver's side will go up faster than the passenger side, so I think the passenger side one might be going back out again. But I just bought like a cheap eBay one for I think it was like $25 or $30. So I don't know if an OEM one would last any longer, but it's been 5 years with that one, so I'll just wait till it breaks and throw another one in there. No big deal.
Got it. 2001 Corvette had another question.
2001 Corvette.
If you had to do it over, would you go with a Tickmaster cylinder?
I actually have received some feedback from my buddy that did the cam my car. He's not crazy about those. And then you'll read some conflicting things online about people saying not to use that with like a McLeod clutch. But like for me, it's been awesome. And like I really struggled to put my car in reverse, whether that was because of the master cylinder or the clutch or whatever. It really remedied that issue. So for that aspect alone, I feel like it was worth it. But if I ever do change a clutch setup, I think I'll just end up pulling that Tickmaster out and putting a OEM master back in it, because the Tick is just like, it makes the clutch really stiff and really hard to push in. So if I ever change the clutch setup, I probably wouldn't put another one back in. So, but for my setup currently, it really helped for what it does what I need it to do. So.
Okay, I thought you manual guys like it stiff, so it's all right.
Oh, okay. See, you gotta get through it. We gotta work for it, baby. Come on now.
That's it. Project Dirty asks, and we covered this a little bit before, but have you ever taken your car to the track, whether that's road course or drag strip?
No, I'm one of those guys that never's taken his car to the track, dude. I would like to, but like, dude, like I said, the engine's tired on it. I don't know if I would ever like do any road course stuff with it, just because like, I don't know, it kind of sketches me out. I would like to make a few passes on the drag strip sometime. And I have a buddy that does a lot of road course stuff with his Grand Sport, and he's been begging me to try to come out with him, but I don't know, man. It just sketches me out. I would probably take it drag racing though, if that counts, but I don't think I would ever road course it or SCCA stuff like that. Yeah. I don't know. It's just a really tired engine now, and it's just like I'm at the point now where if it breaks, I can afford to fix it, but it's definitely something that I don't want to do. So,
I hear you on that.
Yeah, you ever tracked your car?
When I had actually originally just started YouTube, my plan was to go to Englishtown, which is a local drag strip to us here in Jersey.
Isn't it a drift track? Englishtown, isn't it a drift track?
Now it's drift. At the time, it was drag strip, and they used to hold a lot of NHRA events and all that good stuff. But then, as New Jersey started to populate, neighbors started to move closer and closer to the track. Obviously, they all complained. When summer gnats would come around, and they'd hear nothing but, these top fuel dragsters ripping down the track every 10 minutes or whatever it is. So they shut the drag strip down. And that happened like 3 months before I was actually going to go. And I was like, damn it. So now my nearest drag strip is like an hour and a half away. So with a family and all that, it's hard to coordinate a full day like that. So I'll probably never take it to the strip or to a road course or anything like that. Because I think the nearest road course again is probably they do a little bit at Englishtown, but it's not that big. So you're gonna have to go to like somewhere else, and that's probably another hour and a half for me. And that's just too much money. It's like $300 or whatever it is.
And you have to and some guy has to ride around with you until you can get certified to go out by yourself. And there's I think a motorsport ranch here in Crescent, Texas. It's probably like 45 minutes from me. And then Ennis, Texas Motorplex would be the closest quarter-mile drag strip, and that's like an hour and a half. So I don't know. It's far enough to where it's not that far, but it's far enough to where it's an inconvenience, I guess. I mean, you kind of have to plan for it if you wanted to go do it. You couldn't just like drop by and make a pass or whatever. And so
Exactly.
I used to work in a performance shop, Dallas Performance. They build twin turbo Lambos and stuff, and we used to go to the track all the time to do testing, and that was really fun. But obviously, I was riding with my boss, and we were in the company vehicles, or we were in the company truck and stuff, pulling it, and then I was already in that area, so that wasn't a big deal to me to go then. But I never got the chance to take one of my cars out there and make it pass. I would love to, and I think there's a Texas V Club event, I think, going down at Texas Motorplex quarter mile, and I think it's like $50 to race. So I'm thinking about taking the Cadillac out there. I think that'd be a fun video, and just to kind of see what it would do. I've never been to a drag strip, so I don't know. I'm thinking about doing that, but we'll see.
Nice. Corvette Garage just had a comment from me. He said, I need a high stall to take advantage of the cam. The car would turn into a beast. Maybe when it's time to do a rebuild on the A4, you can do it all at once. That's the plan. I do plan on getting the transmission built and then at the same time putting in a converter. So that is the plan. When that will happen, I don't know, because Jamal just bought a place. I am going to be selling this place. Mm-hmm. And hopefully buying a new place here in the next couple of months myself. So that's kind of my priority, and the car will take a backseat for a little while.
How is the housing market where you are, dude? It's dude, absolutely ridiculous here.
It's nuts. Everyone, because I'm like a 40-minute train ride into New York City.
Okay. Yeah.
Like I can go to the edge to the beach that's in my town, and I can see Lower Manhattan from it, just across the bay, and obviously with this
not too long ago, I should have swung by, dude.
Yeah. So obviously with the whole pandemic going on, people are leaving New York City in droves, and since we're relatively close to the city, the housing market is just going nuts right now.
Dude, all those people are making it down to Texas and stuff, and we're getting kind of the same effect from California. People out there, it's like they're selling shacks out there for $800,000, $900,000, and they're moving here and they're just buying up stuff cash. So it's like, I had looked at 3 other houses before, and I put in offers on those, and I'm going FHA because it's my first house, and I want to take advantage of the lower interest rates and stuff. And I'm competing against like 20 plus offers on these houses, so it just got ridiculous. And it's like, oh, they got a cash buyer, they got a cash buyer, they got a cash buyer. It's like, Jesus Christ, dude, where are those people getting all this money from? But I think Joe Rogan and a lot of the like podcasting comedian scene, they're all pushing for like a max exodus, and like Austin is blowing up, and some of those people are finding their way up to Dallas and Fort Worth, and it's just insane right now, dude. Mm-hmm.
Definitely. I know here, like if you don't offer full ask, like you said, you're and even above full ask, then you're not getting the house.
Dude, I put an offer $16K over on a house, and they took a cash offer. I was like, this is ridiculous. What am I supposed to do? But thankfully, this house that I got, we were able to catch it before it hit the market because my realtor knew the realtor that was selling it.
Nice.
And she, dude, literally on my way to do this podcast, she called me and told me. I was like, I'm still through the roof. I still can't believe it. I haven't even told my parents yet. So
nice.
Tell them.
So that's why you're a little late jumping on.
Yeah, I'm really excited. I'm trying to contain myself right now, but yes.
I hear you. That's awesome, though, dude. Yeah. Congrats.
Thank you, dude.
Mr. Black just had a little props for you and me. Several of your videos helped me out. lots of valuable Corvette info out there on YouTube. So,
shout out Mr. Black, dude. Thank you so much.
that
was my goal. Every time I hear someone say, "Yo, this video helped me out doing something on my Corvette," I was like, "Yes, that's money that in theory, that's money that I saved somebody from having to spend, having somebody else do it." So that makes me so happy. That's awesome, dude. That's the goal. We got to keep that going. And I'm trying to do that with a CTSV now. So I haven't seen very many videos on people doing that stuff. And so like the front bumper removal and stuff like that, blacking out is pretty popular. And so I was able to get that video out, and in the CTSV groups, people are coming back to me and commenting on that post that I posted in there. And they're just like, "Yo, thanks for this video." And so try to keep doing stuff like that, man, because paying labor labor charge is insane, dude. And so as long as I can save people money, dude, I'm gonna keep making those videos.
I hear you. Gearhead 704, appreciate the super chat. I don't notice the super chat on the software that I'm using, so appreciate that. And his comment was, "This is a Fox Body channel, right?" Because he's the one guy that I follow that's not like a Corvette guy. So.
Yeah.
And he submitted for the car show.
Okay, yeah, I think I remember seeing his submission. Yeah.
Yeah, he had the Tar Heel Fox one, the North Carolina blue.
Dude,
so
I'm not gonna lie, dude. One of those notchback Fox bodies, those coupes, dude. I would love to have one of those. Actually, would love to have one of those, and just like do a Coyote swap on it. And some of my friends have those with Coyote swaps. They're really cool looking cars.
I guess that's a good segue into a question. Maybe it's that car, but what is like your attainable dream build?
Attainable dream build. Well, that would be a dope build to do, but I guess attainable dream build one day, maybe in the future, if I ever sold all my cars, I would want to do like a twin turbo R8 build, because working at Dom's Performance, I was around that stuff all the time, dude. Mm-hmm. Like a perfectly set up, like a stage 3 R8 that makes like 1,300 on race gas and like 1,100 on 93 would be the dream build. Attainable, I don't know. Just because I'd have to put all my eggs in one basket, I guess, if I ever did that. And then also a C6 ZR1. I think like a nasty C6. Like, do you ever watch any of Race Proven Motorsports videos?
Yes.
You remember that white ZR1 that Frayne had?
Yep.
His personal car. Whenever he rebuilt that with the motor, and it was making like, I think it was making 1,100 boost only or something close to that. That would probably be the attainable dream build. I think just like a nasty C6 ZR1. Maybe on 15s would just be just a street monster, dude. I would love to have one of those. That's probably my favorite Corvette ever made, C6 ZR1. And they're getting up there in price now. Like, it's getting to that point now where I think people are finally starting to realize how special that particular Corvette is. And so I don't know, if I want to do that, I'd have to do it soon. And I think if I ever got rid of the C5Z, that would be the Corvette I'd replace it with.
Yeah, I mean, you can definitely like get one. Probably do whatever you want to it, or you can even just leave it stock, keep it for a few years, drive it, and probably sell it.
Yeah,
for either what you bought it for, or maybe even a little more. It's nuts.
That's true, dude. Those C6 ZR1s are just absolutely insane, dude.
Mm-hmm. And Mr. Black was saying he likes watching Race Proven Motorsports videos. The thing I do like about them is, they do the before and the after, and you see exactly what the car gains with whatever the mods are. I think that's awesome to see, because if you're in the market for doing something like that, you know what to expect.
Yep.
So
and just like you get that car, put on 85, do long tube headers, and do a porta blower, or even a 2650 if you want to get crazy with it, and they just make awesome power. I think like around 1,000 wheel would be perfect especially for like Texas. People out here, it's all about like straight line speed and highway racing and drag racing and stuff like that. It's just there's not very many twisties and not very many hills in Texas. So everyone out here is just like ridiculous.
Mm-hmm. Luxury Rumbles, you guys answer questions too. Yep, just ask any question below and we'll answer it.
Ivan, you got to give me a freaking notchback from Mexico, dude. I read that comment, dude.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Mexico's ton.
Dude, let me get one of those.
That would be funny.
It'd be hilarious, dude. A literal Mexico Mustang, dude. Built for Mexico, from Mexico.
I think I don't think there's any other questions that I missed. Is there any? I know you mentioned right now you don't really want to do anything with the V, because of the warranty. But when the warranty's up, do you have any plans for the V?
Yeah, I think I definitely want to put some long tube headers on it. I want to put on 885, and I want to do a ported blower on it. And then I probably have to do probably modify the fuel system a little bit. I'm not 100% sure I haven't looked too much into the mods on that part. Probably would have to go on meth, and maybe change the cam, but I want to see how far I can get with it with just doing like pulleys, headers, E85, ported blower and leaving, the stock heads and stock cam in it. So I think if that car made if I can make 700 wheel or 750 to 800 wheel reliably in that car without changing the cam, I think that'd be something I'd look into doing. But I think the warranty is going to be on it till 2022 or 100,000 miles, whichever happens first. Probably be 2022 would be the thing that happens first. So that car is going to, for the most part, stay stock till then. I've done some visual stuff, obviously, and I'm going to continue to do some visual stuff. Actually did something quite significant on that recently. Video still has to come on that. But yeah, I think I would maybe 800 wheel, keep it as a daily, and it'd be fine. Maybe 800 wheel.
Yeah, I was at 800 wheel on a daily, I guess that's like normal down there in Texas.
Yeah, dude, that's slow for Texas, dude. At least the meets I go to.
Yeah. See, that's, like I said, that's just the crazy thing. Like, I mean, yeah, people have cars like that up here, no doubt, but you can only enjoy that, 6 to 8 months out of the year. So,
yeah, I think my one of my buddies is a BTR dealer. He's got a Silverado SS that just makes like 1,200 wheel, and he just drives it turned up all the time everywhere. I'm just like, dude, it's ridiculous. Like, even trucks in Texas, dude, they're insane. You can't even put the power down. They're just 1,200 wheel, dude, burnout box. Mm-hmm. It's just how stuff down here.
Matt Smith asked, "Do you guys ceramic coat your cars?" I do not. But
ooh, really? Particular reason?
One, my vet is not like, it looks good in videos because obviously, like, you can hide blemishes in a video, right?
Dude, trust me. If half the people in here saw my Corvette up close, like the front bumper especially, thank God it's being shot from a lens, dude, because it's rough up close.
Yeah. So I would need to compound and polish it before I ceramic coat it. And since my car is currently outside in the weather, I'm not going to say 365 because right now it's in my parents' garage. But since it's outside in the weather most of the time, I
wouldn't it make more sense to ceramic coat it since it's outside all the time, though?
You're probably right, but I just feel like, I don't know. Like, I would have to compound and polish it, like, again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I just feel like it would get all scratched up. It would look like, I don't know. That's just me, but maybe I'm overthinking it. I don't know.
Do you watch, are you into detailing at all? Do you watch Obsessed Garage?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So I'm a big fan of his YouTube channel too. And I've actually got the ceramic coat that he has, I think, on his store. We actually bought it from him. Crystal Serum Light in EXO, I think. I have to do that for the V. It's just sitting on my desk right now. And that's something that I want to do to it in the near future. I've got the polish for it. I've got my buffer. I've actually done a paint correction on the Corvette before, and it needs to be done again because it was a really long time ago and all that protection's gone. But that's going to be a future video too. I want to dial in the CTSV, and then also want to redo the Corvette with the ceramic coating instead of doing like the wax that I did last time. Mm-hmm. The stuff's supposed to last a very long time, so hopefully it works as advertised. But obviously, you have to do all the prep work for to kind of make sure that it lasts as long as they say it will. So that might be one of the first projects I do in the new house. We'll see.
Nice. Yeah, I also feel like I would need to bring that into a garage in order for that ceramic coat to actually
thing. You can't just knock it out one day. There's too much work involved with it. So.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Luxury Rumble had a question. I'm trying to get a C5 for the channel. Is the car reliable with around 100K miles and worth the project? Probably missed you saying that you have 56,000 miles on your car now.
Stock engine, minus one rod and piston.
There you go. And then somebody mentioned stay away from 97 to 99. He says he's looking at a 2000 to an 04. I would even say look for an 01 to 04. Stay away from the 2000, just for the EBCM issue. You know, not that, you know, if you find one and you like it, and I'm not saying don't get it, but it just seems like maybe it's overrated. I don't know, because I have an 04, so I don't have to worry about it. But you always see on all the face. What? You
have the last year of the C5, dude. They got all the stuff ironed out by then, hopefully.
Exactly. So you always see just the horror stories on guys with the EBCMs going out, and you can't fix it. You have to replace it. They don't make the part anymore, so you have to go find a used one, and they're like $1,200 to like $1,500.
Yeah. I haven't, knock on wood, I haven't had any issues with that thing either. And then I think also in 02, they started putting heads-up display in all the C5 Corvettes. I don't think the 01s had them.
I think they started it in 99, but I don't know when it became like a standard thing.
I'm just thinking of the Z06s then, because I don't think the 01 had a heads-up display.
Maybe not.
Or did, so.
Got you.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. I would obviously try to get the newest one you can. It's just all around. And then like TPMS issues on the earlier C5s too. We've had weird issues at Discount Tire and stuff trying to relearn TPMS sensors, and it's not that big of a deal, but I guess there's one thing.
Yeah. So my advice is find an 01 to 04. They're reliable. There's tons of information out there. You can watch our 2 channels to find out any information you need. If not, go over to the Corvette forum. What's that?
I said shout them out.
That's it. Or you just go over to the Corvette forum, and there's a lot of grumpy old men on there that have a lot of good information if you can read through it all. But there's
in a bunch of expired embedded pictures from like Photo Bucket and stuff.
Yes. I hate when you come across those.
One of my pet peeves when going on the forums.
Let's see if there's any other questions here.
Tell you what though, dude, like I don't know if you're in any of these Facebook groups, but that's kind of like those are almost like the new forums, dude. They've got search functions in all the groups, and
yeah,
I find myself going there more often now than going to the Corvette forum, just because you've got more up-to-date information, and pictures don't expire on Facebook like they do on forums and stuff. So those have been awesome, especially when trying to buy used parts, dude. Like almost 90% of the parts for my Corvette have come from Facebook groups. So
nice. Yeah, they are really good. I see some of the same guys on here in the Facebook groups. So
yeah.
Robert asked radio replacement. I think you have an aftermarket radio, right?
Yeah, my car came with a single-din Alpine radio in it, and so like all that stuff was already done before my Corvette. So like as far as before I bought it, so as far as like the technical stuff of that goes, I'm not too entirely sure on it. Obviously, I've taken the freaking radio bezel out a million times, so I could do that. But I don't know. Do you have an aftermarket radio? I would like to do a double din someday.
What's that?
I said I'd like to do a double din someday.
Yeah. Right now I'm on stock radio. I actually kind of like, a few guys have done it. They put in a joining unit. It's an Android-based head unit, and it fits behind the stock bezel.
Okay.
But the viewing frame of it goes a little bit beyond the bezel, so you have to shave the bezel a little bit. Or you can root the unit and change the screen size to make it fit. So you can do one or two things. So I kind of like that if I was going to do anything. But cool. Right now I'm on stock radio.
Yeah, I used to have like a double din in my G35, and I freaking loved it, dude. Just like the way it integrates with iPhones and stuff. And now they even have like CarPlay units and stuff, like Android Auto, stuff like that. And I have CarPlay in the CTSV, and I love it. And having something like that in the Corvette would be cool, but I don't know. It's not high on the priority list, I guess.
Luxury just said, thanks for all the advice. You didn't know about the issues. If you want to read up on tons of issues, head over to Corvette Forum, and there's probably a sticky in there somewhere about, C5 issues for you to look up. Also, like when you're actually looking for one, they'll tell you what to look out for. Like right here, I have the OEM stock harmonic balancer. They're crap.
Yeah,
Make sure yours isn't bad.
My car.
Yours was
like,
wobbling.
Yeah, dude, I heard the belts on the test drive, and I asked the salesman, I was like, "Is that normal?" He's like, "Oh, the car's got 130,000 miles on it, man. It's not gonna be perfect." I'm like, "Okay," bought it anyways, and I was like, get on the forums and I look it up, and people are like, "Yeah, definitely get it replaced because those things are known for you let them get too bad, they'll come apart, and it could definitely cause some crankshaft damage." So that was probably the first thing I did, and that's how I met my buddy that eventually ended up fixing the car whenever it dropped the valve and doing the cam. So. One of the first jobs I had done on it, and put a power bond, I think 10% underdrive on it or something like that. It's still on there, so
nice. Yeah,
cheap option, I guess.
Yeah, I went with the Summit C2501. It's like $200 or something, but it's not underdriven.
Okay, yeah, not bad.
Yeah, Obsessive Hobby says he added Bluetooth to the stock radio. I did that too. I got the kit that also you can do phone calls over, but my car is way too friggin' loud on the inside. So nobody can friggin' hear me talking anyway. So I kind of I don't use it for phone calls anymore.
Yeah, I don't think I could. I mean, first of all, I hate picking up the phone in that car just because you have to shift and stuff. But I just don't like taking phone calls in that car either. It's like I'll get there and call you, man. Can't be that.
I hear you. Is it illegal to be on a handheld phone in Texas?
Yeah, I think so. Everyone does it anyways. Should I do it anyways? But I mean, dude, like those kind of laws in Texas are just like, yeah, we recommend you don't do that, and you could get a ticket for doing that, but they'll never write you a ticket for doing that. We've got like these hands-free zones or whatever, like school zones and stuff, and I think it is a law now that you're not allowed to do it, but everyone does it.
Gotcha.
The amount of times I've almost been swerved into driving on the highway is just insane. So.
Yeah. Zippity just said aftermarket Bluetooth in a head and cam car with exhaust is pointless. Yep. He was in my car the other day, and he's like, "Holy drone, man!" So,
what back do you have on there?
What?
What axle back do you have on there?
I have Texas Speed headers. They're catted X pipe and Billy Boat bullets out the back.
Cats, dude, any reason you did the cats?
Just to pass inspection.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I still wanted it to be, inspection legal here in Jersey. So even though my inspection has now been expired for like 7 months, it expired sometime in the middle of this whole pandemic thing. And here in Jersey, the DMV, I think, was like closed. So you couldn't even go get your car inspected anyway. But,
it's always good to know somebody for inspections. I'll say that.
What's that?
It's always good to know somebody when it's time to do your inspections. So
yeah. I just didn't want to deal with it, so I just went catted.
My Catalyst X pipe's definitely only for off-road use. I never use it on the road, so what it is.
Mr. Black said, "Get course and no drone." I love the drone,
dude. I couldn't handle it. I couldn't do it.
Couldn't do it.
Dude, it's actually like I remember one of the first week I had I switched over to the Corsair from the Billy Boat. I was driving on the highway, and I was like, "Is my car on right now?" Like that's how much of a difference it was. Obviously you'll still hear it, but like, dude, your ears will thank you, bro.
Yeah.
If you take any type of long trips or anything, I have like a 30-minute commute to work, so for me it was worth it.
Before I got the cam, if I went between like 68 and like 80, it actually quieted it down. Like to a point where, like I thought it was definitely bearable. I didn't think there was any drone anymore. But then once I got the cam, forget about it.
Yeah,
there is no
2,000 RPM. I think where it gets real bad.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like it's just bad no matter what.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know. Under like 50 miles an hour is not too bad, but yeah, when you get up there, it's like like that 2,000 RPM. I remember that 2,000 RPM spot on the highway and with the boats was just, dude, it was bad. Almost to the point where like nobody wanted to ride in the car. was like, all
Yeah.
right, I should probably change this.
Maybe
And I
I'll.
wanted extremes because I didn't want to quiet it down that much. And actually, when I went to go meet the guy to buy this, I bought them used on the Corvette forums. This guy was like, "Yeah, they're Corsa Extremes." I was like, "All right, cool." I drove an hour to get them, and I get there and they weren't Corsa Extremes, and I was like, "Oh, these aren't Corsa Extremes." He's like, "Oh, they're not." I was like, "Nah, dude, these are like Corsa Sports. Like the mufflers are way smaller on the Extremes." And he's like, "Well," he's like, "if you don't want them, I understand." I was like, "Yeah, I'll just take them anyways." They're not supposed to drone, right? So hopefully that'll solve that issue, and hopefully it's not much quieter. And it's perfect. It's a perfect exhaust setup, in my opinion. The Extremes probably would have been too loud still. So
Yeah, Luxury Rumble had he loves the sound of Corsa Axlebacks. Corsa Axlebacks. Any opinions? Obviously, you just gave your opinion on the Corsa. I think I don't know how close he is or isn't to Carlisle, PA, but when they have the Corvettes at Carlisle there, besides this past year because of the whole pandemic, they have every exhaust manufacturer out there. Magnaflow, Corsa, Borla, Billy Boat, you name it, they're there. They have cars up on the racks. You can listen to all the exhausts. You can hear them in person. You can definitely make your own pick there. Obviously, you can listen to and watch YouTube videos all day long, but you don't really get the real feel for it. I think every exhaust from those big players that I just rattled off, you can't go wrong with any of them.
Yeah, true.
It's just what's your personal preference on sound.
Yeah,
and whatever you like the most.
I will say one thing with getting rid of the boats and going to the Corsa was that it brings a lot of the choppiness of the cam back into the car. Like the Borlas are so much of a low frequency and they're so loud that like it kind of drowns out the choppiness of the car. When you put the Corsas on it, it kind of gives it a higher frequency, if you want to kind of call it that, but it brings a lot of that choppiness back to the car. You can hear the cam a lot better when it chops like that. So that was another like main reason that I kind of switched to the Corsas, because I heard so many setups and I was like, man, that we have the same cam, we have the same setup. Like, I don't know why that car sounds so much better, the chop of the cam. And I was like, and then I started looking into it and people are saying, yeah, dude, with the Billy boats, they're just so freaking loud that you can't hear the chop of the cam as well. So
maybe that, because I have stage 2 cam and your stage 3 cam is just pop, 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 like a lot friggin' more than my car. And that's the one thing I wish the BTR stage 2 was a little choppier, but maybe it's because of the Billy boat.
It could be, dude. Mine didn't chop nearly as hard with the Billy boats on it. So
okay.
I don't know if there's someone around you that has Corsas that maybe you could swap out for, or not like swap permanently, but maybe if he'd let you try them on or something. If you guys are on jack stands one day and you kind of see what it sounds like, you might be surprised.
I don't want to give up the bullets though, bro.
I know, dude. I didn't want to. Dude, I think I stole those for like $400 or something, dude, locally.
Nice.
I let them go pretty cheap, I think.
Zippity's had a question. How close are you to LG Motorsports?
LG Motorsports, I think, is northeast Dallas, and so I'm like North Fort Worth, so out there. It's still kind of far. I think it's like an hour and a half from me. And one of my buddies, Joe, he's actually having his V3 is being built at LG right now. He's putting a built motor in it. And then like I had other friends that I used to work with. Like one of his dads had a twin turbo C6E built at LG. And so like it's like an hour and a half from here. They built some pretty gnarly cars. I've seen a lot of them running around here.
I think Zippity also has a whole bunch of LG Motorsports parts on his.
They were kind of like one of the OGs in the game. I remember they had you remember when they were doing the spindles, the C5, C6 spindles for the 15s, and they were like one of the only people that were making them. Mm-hmm. So they were able to charge whatever they wanted. And then I think eventually, was it Carlisle Racing that came along, and I think undercut them by like half and basically forced them to like lower their price, cut their prices in half on those things just to try to compete.
Nice.
Yeah, they're one of the early I guess aftermarket parts companies for the C5, at least when I was looking.
Mm-hmm. Is there anything else that you want to bring up? I mean, we've been going for like an hour and a half. It looks like the questions are dying down.
I'm sure there's some things that I've totally forgot to mention, or some things I've thought about and I probably think about later. But dude, I don't think so, man. I think it's awesome what you're doing, man. Keep doing what you're doing.
Appreciate it.
You've actually inspired me to try to continue making videos, be more consistent. I guess here's a question for you: How are you able to stay more consistent with your videos, and how are you able to, or how do you come up with your new video ideas and stuff like that?
I try to just do one video a week.
Yeah. That's
right.
my goal too, but
yeah, right now, because I have 16 inches of snow outside and I don't have a car.
Yeah.
You're right. I have to think outside the box and come up with, my next video idea, which I don't have filmed yet, but I want to try and have something for Friday night. That was another reason for starting this series. As my cat is like pulling at me right here.
Oh, nice.
Was just to interact with other YouTube channels and just have, this video, once every week, on a Tuesday or a Wednesday, just for people to watch and engage with. I think it's awesome to engage with other YouTube channels. I always looked at, channels like yourself and you can go up and down the list of the people in this chat right now.
True.
I don't see this as a competition with anybody. Like, we can come out with the same video. Your perspective on something is different than my perspective on something.
I get a lot of inspiration from watching other C5 Corvette YouTubers.
Exactly.
See them make a video. That's a really good idea. I should do something like that.
Mm-hmm. And then, the better each of us do, the better we're all going to do. If we up the game on the C5, people are going to get in. More people are going to watch the C5 videos, and they're going to come across my video, your video, Mr. Black's video, Project Dirty's video. The list goes on and on here. So, but trying to come up with video ideas is just hard.
You're just like there's no new mods for like my car. I don't know. I'm getting to the point now where it's like petty stuff that I feel like nobody really wants to watch me like install a new radar mount for my radar detector that's already been hardwired. It's like, I don't know. So I try to get out to meets and stuff now and try to do those videos to kind of, I guess, put like the Dallas Fort Worth car scene, I guess, kind of out there for people to kind of see. But I mean, I've got the CTSV now, and so I've got some stuff planned for that to do. But like, I don't know, my whole fan base, subscription base is built off of the C5 stuff. So I'm at this weird point now where it's like, I'll put out Cadillac videos. They don't do as well, but I still enjoy filming those. So I'm going to continue to put those out. But I mean, the C5 content, I don't know. It's weird, dude. Like, it's weird. It's like you put those Cadillac videos out, they don't get nearly as many views as you'd think they would, and then I don't know. It's been kind of a struggle, I guess. I don't know. I don't know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, no, I get you, because I put out probably like a handful of RAM videos, and I guess over time they've done well. But like you said, initially I'll get like, let's just say a C5 video gets like 200 views in the first night, while my RAM video is getting like 40.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, I mean, I'll get the consistent people to watch it, but everybody else is just like, oh, it's a RAM video. I don't care about a RAM.
Yeah, exactly.
So
I don't know. It's hard. Like, once you've built your whole channel off of one car and then buying another car, it's like, I don't know. You lose a lot of your fan base because they're like, they think you're kind of like ditching them in a way, I guess. But it's definitely not the case. It's just, people have different tastes. And if YouTube was my only income and I was building cars specifically for my fan base, that'd be a different story. But like, at the same time, I want to have cars that I enjoy as well. So definitely.
And just, everybody on here knows that modding your car isn't cheap.
Right.
And putting YouTube videos together and the money that you make from it.
Yeah.
It's not,
it's like nothing. It's like a fraction of what you spend on car parts.
Exactly. It might pay for the gas that week.
Exactly.
For a whole month. Might pay for the gas for that week.
Yeah, it's hilarious. You spend $2,000 on car parts just to make $30 back on a video. It's like, it's just how the game is for smaller guys.
Yeah. Yeah, we're definitely not. We can't afford the $90,000 Ram TRX. Jump it, burn it, put it on 44s, and
dude, Mike's crazy, dude,
and make money off it.
Yeah, but he's the only one doing it. He's got the
exactly.
money, so people are watching it.
Yeah, Mr. Black said he's in the hole 100 G's on YouTube.
Money at GameStop, baby.
Yeah, exactly right. I got in on some Dogecoin.
Oh, dude, I actually bought $100 of Dogecoin last week.
Yeah, me too. I got in.
I was like sitting on the side, and I was like, man, I want to kind of jump in, and then I was like, I'll get this meme coin, dude, Dogecoin.
Mm-hmm.
To the moon, baby.
That's it. I got in.
We'll be jumping TRXs whenever Dogecoin goes to the moon.
Exactly. Yeah, I think I only got like $80 in it, but I got it that day that it was just going crazy.
Yeah.
I think I got it when it was like 50% of the way up to wherever it maxed out at, like 200% or whatever it was.
Yeah.
So
and now it's gone back down, and I'm down money, but it's only $100.
Exactly. That's what I figured. It was like it's so damn cheap. Now I have like I don't know, what is it, like 4,000 Doji coins. Yeah. So if it goes up like a penny at some point, that's decent money.
Yeah, bro. Dogecoin to $1. Let's go.
I'm there.
To the moon, baby.
Pro charge the vet if that happens.
I'll be in space in my next video if that happens. Go to the moon.
But I'd just like to thank you for jumping on tonight.
Sorry, I'm reading some of the comments. Some of the people I know are in the comments.
What's that?
Some of the people I know are in the comments.
Oh, okay. I was going to have a buddy buy $1,000 worth of Dogecoin, but now you can't even buy it. Yeah, I'm on Robinhood, and Robinhood like shut down like anything you can do on like GameStop, Dogecoin, and I think a few other things. I was like, what the hell?
Sketchy stuff going on there, I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
We got Elon on our side, so hopefully.
He just needs to put out.
He's a Dallas guy, so look out for him and some of the guys. And to the moon, baby. To the moon. Strap in.
He just needs to tweet about it, and we'll make money.
I know, right? I wonder how much longer he can get away with doing that.
I know. Tom Z06 said my two favorite YouTube channels come together. Yeah. So appreciate that, Tom. But
I feel the same way.
But thank you for jumping on. It was fun.
Yes, sir. Thanks for having me, dude. It's awesome.
Yep. Like I said, you were an inspiration for me to start. I'm not like the outgoing person. Mm-hmm. I'm kind of like an introvert. So like doing you.
I am too, dude. Like people come up to me in public, or I say people, but like 3 people in total have came up to me in public since I started my YouTube channel, and I'm just like, oh, holy crap, dude! Like, just like get super awkward. And I'm like, yeah, dude, that's awesome. But like, I don't know. I encourage people to keep doing it. If you guys see me out in public or at a car meet, come say what's up. I'll try not to be super awkward, but yeah, dude, it's hard, dude. And even like when you're sitting there in the garage and you're filming, and like you're in your zone and you're filming, and then you like just think about for a second what you're doing, it just messes the whole thing up, and you got to restart. You're like, wait, I'm in the garage filming myself talking to a camera. It's kind of weird. People drive by, but
mm-hmm. Yeah, and now I get it. Being that you're an engineer, mm-hmm. We're all that same type of person.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Again, thanks for coming on. Next week I have a C4 Corvette coming to the channel.
Ooh.
And then I have a few people that were on here, in the comments. They're going to be joining me later on, and my camera changed again, but whatever. Later on down the line, I think the next like 2 or 3 months lined up for one video a week for other YouTube channels. So, thanks for coming on, and
awesome. Appreciate it. Thanks for having me, Dave.
Yep, and looking forward to more C5Z stuff, and as well as the CTSV.
Awesome, dude. Appreciate it. Same to you.
All right, thanks, guys. Thanks everybody that stuck around for the comments, and thanks for anybody that did watch this in the replay. Have a good night, guys.